her boots. Sweat was sticking her shirt to her shoulders, and she scraped her hand at some point, blood beading the greys. He, on the other hand, looked barely more pink-cheeked than normal, and his well-groomed blonde hair was behaving with a sort of obedience Adams found mystifying. He hauled Hoodie to his feet, not ungently. He really was just a kid, probably still in his teens, with a spattering of facial hair trying to establish a little bit of authority somewhere on his chin. The kid glared at them both. "Police brutality," he spat. "Just bloody racial profiling this." Adams cleared her throat, raising her eyebrows at him. "You're the worst sort," Hoodie said, "acting like some bloody white oppressor, traitor. I'll have you both for harassment." James looked at Adams. "You are pretty oppressive," he said. "I think it's the coffee habit." "I think it's my superior rank and experience," Adams said. "I'll be around in a minute." She dropped back to the ground and went to find a gate, heading down a narrow passageway between the old red brick of the house and the wall, smelling damp and disrepair, and feeling eyes on her. It was the sort of place where everything was observed, but no one saw anything, not officially anyway. The dreadlock dog was investigating the corners of the yard still, but she didn't worry about him too much. He seemed to have his own way of navigating walls, doors, gates, and everything else for that matter. She dragged the gate closed behind her, the wood scraping on the broken concrete of the path, then headed around the corner to where James was cuffing the boy, ignoring him demanding a lawyer, a civil rights activist, and his mum. The kid glared at Adams as she joined them. "Fascists," he said, and then added, after a moment's thought, "Down with the system." Adams picked his backpack up and checked the side pockets, then unzipped it to peer inside. "Where were you off to in such a hurry, then?" she asked. "Visiting my grandmother," he replied, and grinned at her. She raised her eyebrows at his red hoodie, then went back to the bag. "That so?" she asked, and pulled a pouch out of the main compartment. It looked like a slightly oversized pencil case, but it didn't feel like pens inside. She showed it to James, then unzipped it, revealing a nest of small Ziploc bags. She tweezed one out between her fingers, holding it up in front of them so the 4 pills inside were visible. "How big do your grandma's eyes get on this, then?" The kid barely looked at the pouch, just lifted his chin and glared at her. "That's not mine. You planted it, bloody pigs." Adams looked from the bag to the detective constable and said, "What do you think, James? Do you reckon we planted this?" "I'd say it's 2 against 1. Don't think it's going to get too far with that." The kid scowled at them both. "Pigs, all as corrupt as each other." "He's got the patter down at least," James said, and started propelling the kid toward the car. "May as well take him in. It's something, isn't it?" Adams made a non-committal sound. It might be something, but only in the sense of it being an arrest on the books. The kid was nothing but a courier. The likelihood of him knowing anything beyond the next very small fish in the chain was minimal. He'd be at least a couple of contacts removed from anyone who mattered, and no one was going to be stepping in to help him. Odds were, all an arrest record would do was take away another option in a life already pretty short on them. She'd much rather have just channeled her mum to put the frights on him than let him go, but on the other hand, it was an arrest, and they'd been pulled onto this case to get a few people off the streets and make it look good in the local news, nothing else. No one was expecting them to make any breakthroughs, so she supposed James was right. It was something. There was even the possibility that they might get him to talk, but she doubted it. It wouldn't be worth the kid's while. They got him into Adams's car and headed back to the station while the dreadlocked almost dog panted over James's seat, making him jerk his head away a few times, then twist around to glare at the kid. "Stop it," he said. "What?" Hoodie asked. "Blowing on my ear." "Don't flatter yourself, Mitt," the kid said, leaning back in the seat with a look of absolute disgust on his face. "I'm adding sexual harassment to the list like..."